class for the Wolverines that boasts a national championship, 3 Big Ten titles, and a 3-0 record over Ohio State. The season has not gone the way this Wolverines team has wanted, but Sharon Moore stressed the importance of sending them out the right way, and that means getting another win to get bowl eligible. I talked to tight end Colston Loveland this week, who told me we got to do whatever it takes to get a win out here today. Kalel Mullings told me, listen, this is the last game in the big house. This is a trophy game. We need to answer the call out here today.
Sharon Moore looks on, his team preparing to kick it away. Tommy Doman will do the honors for the Wolverines before this yet again capacity crowd at the big house. Joseph Hyman II, number 6, is a deep safety. Michigan won the toss, deferred, and elected to receive. A little wind to take down the ball, so they're going to re-tee it. And here we go. Back in the Big Ten again. Toe meets leather, we're underway. Hyman will let it go through for the touchback. And the Wildcats will take over at the 25-yard line, and the redshirt sophomore from Chicago, Jack Lausch, makes his way out. Young man started the 3rd game of the year against Eastern Illinois and never looked back. Had a career high of 250 at Purdue. Has thrown for more than 200 yards in 5 games. Only a couple of interceptions at Iowa and Washington got in the way. But other than that, this young man has been living up to all of the billing for Zach Lujan, his offensive coordinator. Cam Porter is an outstanding running back. He'll flank him, and they go with 3 wides. On first down, look curl pattern to A.J. Henning, the former Wolverine. This game means a lot to him. We had the opportunity to chat with both he and Lausch yesterday. Amir Hall, number 12, with the stop, a gain of 5.
Yeah, and offensive coordinator, Coach Lujan, said, hey, if everything goes well, we want to get 8 the ball early and often. He may touch the first 2 plays, but what you just saw there is Jack Lausch hitting the layups, things that he's really developed throughout this season. You got to make sure you take those gimmies, hit them, so you can move forward.
Really bright young man. Had a professional career perhaps in baseball awaiting him, and turned down a chance to be at Notre Dame as a preferred walk-on. Here he goes again with Porter, and that little counter works beautifully, out for a first down past the 40-yard line before being pushed back. A gain of 11. Let's take a look from above.
That's a really nice job of a double to the second level to make sure you get to those linebackers. When you can get to that second level, Cam Porter will be able to make plays and see that free hitter and get vertical against this defense. He does a nice job of picking up a first down there.
He's a tough one. Graduate student from Cincinnati. Where's that number 1 jersey that means an awful lot in Northwestern football history? Pistol formation here. Following the tight end. Hard to beat the edge of this Michigan football team. Jayshon Barham. He can stick it. 6'3", 248 junior from District Heights, Maryland, the weak side linebacker.
Yeah, he's the free hitter. You're just going to see him replace out here and be in position when Cam Porter tries to progress gaps and bounce it outside. He progresses gaps with him. He's right there to meet him. One-on-one combat.
Now, one of the concerns for Lausch, because he can beat you with his legs, was the inability to get to the edge, because they've always got the edge covered defensively, this Michigan team.
100%.
Joseph Hyman now moves out to a wide receiver spot. They go empty with 5 wide. Now the maneuverability you're going to see, and he overshoots Hyman. He'd love to have that one back. The momentum of his running had something to do with that errant pass. And it'll be 3rd down and 10 as you look at David Braun. What a story this young man is. Began it all at Winona State. Came up through the ranks, coaching at places like North Dakota State, Northern Iowa, UC Davis, the Division II power, and Culver Stockton. And now here he is, a head coach, taking over during the most difficult of circumstances after Pat Fitzgerald hired him to run his defense.
You got Zeke Berry, who's now playing that corner position. He was a safety against one of their most talented wide receivers, Bryce Kurtz.
3rd down and 10, pressure up the middle. Lausch finds some room, throws it. That ball might have been picked by Hall. right at the sidelines. Yes, it is Michigan football. Amir Hall, and that was a mistake by Lausch.
What an outstanding play by Amir Hall. He's sitting in the passing lane, and the hands to reach out, get his feet in, and complete the catch. The transfer from Albany makes his presence known early in the game.
His first interception of the year, and it was a thing of beauty.
What you have to know there, if you're Jack Lausch, hey, that's a cover 2 corner. He has no real responsibility behind him. He sits in the flat, and you throw to the flat, it's usually going to be a turnover.
So the Wolverines get great field position off the pick. Davis Warren, the senior from Manhattan Beach, California, trying to get them bowl eligible. And the veteran Donovan Edwards is behind him. They've had difficulty running the football this year. A little play fake to him, and that's a pass out to Morris on an RPO. Tyler Morris, the junior from Bolingbrook, Illinois, with the reception, gets it into Northwestern territory at the 49.
We talked about it already, the QB carousel at Michigan. They just haven't found consistency in any way, and it's going to be up to Davis Warren, right? He's going to have to work on his fundamentals. He got a chance to work on them this past week in the bye week, and you look to see real improvement today.
Yeah, they were hoping the bye week would be of great benefit to him. Ball security was better at Indiana in their last game, and they want to make sure that they don't turn it over today. Donovan Edwards finds just a crack on the left-hand side, is very close to a first down at the 43-yard line. Devin Turner, number 8, with the stop.
It's a nice job of Donovan Edwards just reading and progressing gaps. You're going to get a pull around to seal the edge. Once the edge is sealed, now Donovan Edwards can get into the line of scrimmage and bounce around and then get skinny down the field to try to pick up that first down.
Yeah, Michigan had 3 different starting quarterbacks. Warren started the first 3 with a 2-1 record. Then Orji came in for 3 games. Khalil Mullings has checked in at running back, number 20. And he forges ahead for the first down inside the 43. Carmine Bastone. You talk about a big ugly in that defensive front. That's the guy for the Wildcats. 6'2", 297 out of St. Charles, Illinois. He is a big-time talent.
Yeah, the matchup will be Bastone versus Greg Crippen, right? And right there, you're running up the middle. I like what Crippen did. He tried to make sure he covered Bastone up so he can't see, disengage, and make the play, and it allowed for the running back to sneak through.
Get that ball out quickly, and he does again to Tyler Morris. And he's inside the 35 to the 33-yard line. I'll mark him about a yard shy after a gain of 9. Xander Mueller, number 34, with a tackle.
This is a gimme. It's almost 10 yards off, soft coverage. You get that screen outside, and then Colston Loveland, a guy who catches all the passes, guess what? He's an outstanding blocker out front as well. Morris does what he can and makes it a 2nd and short. This is an opportunity for that deep play action, right? Show that run fake, come out of it, and get the ball down the field behind the Northwestern safeties.
See what they do with a 2nd down and a long one. Playbook should be wide open. They'll hand it right off to Mullings. Mullings has the first down. Turner again the stop after a gain of 2. Ball spotted right at the 31.
They pick up the first down, but on that play, you can see the safeties flying down into the line of scrimmage quickly, and it's going to allow for some opportunities down the field for Davis Warren.
Mullings remains the setback. Marlon Klein is coming as an extra tight end, number 17. Play fake. And that pass is batted down. Tremendous pressure coming off the edge. Flores and a number of others were involved, getting high into the air to bat that one down. 2nd down and 10 coming up.
Yeah, you see it all the time. If you can't get to the quarterback, get those hands up and make sure you bat the ball down. Davis Warren can sometimes have a little bit of a low trajectory, and that ball stopped. And I'm just telling you, as a quarterback, you absolutely hate it, right? You got a guy open, and then the ball's batted down at the line of scrimmage.
That was Brendan Flakes, 15. He got his big mid up there. Again, another quick out. Kendrick Bell, number 12, with the catch. As the Wolverines passing game, a little dinking and dunking here. Very effective early. We'll get 8 on that play.
Yeah, what Northwestern is doing is they're giving really soft coverage, right? They're running those corners back, and when those corners are back in cover 3 or cover 4, you have those outside routes, and if you can hit those layups, it's going to open up more things down the field, but you have to make sure you make them pay for the soft coverage.
Michigan's conversion rate on third down, just under 40% on the year. And it's a quick pitch towards the boundary. Edwards cuts it back up for the first down. He's inside the 15 at the 14, a gain of 9. Turner very active early, having to make a lot of stops, the safety, number 8.
Take a look at number 97, Sean McLaughlin. He gets into the line of scrimmage, but he gives up the edge, right? And you'll be able to pin him. Number 17, the tight end, Marlon Klein, and it opens up that edge for Donovan Edwards to get outside and pick up the first down.
Loveland, the tight end, who rarely lines up next to the tackle, is down at the bottom of the screen. This is the part of the field where they really look to him. If not to number 7, up the gut, and he stopped for a yard gain, and that's it. Mueller makes the stop, number 34. So now they face a 2nd down and 9. This has been a good defense in opening drive points allowed. They've been pretty solid up front in a lot of ways. For their defensive coordinator, who thinks a lot of them, Tim Margile. Loveland comes back in tight now at tight end. And a little underneath pattern to Morris that fooled no one. Great coverage by Theron Johnson.
So down in tight, Northwestern usually shows a man-to-man defense, but here they go to a cover 2 with the high safety and a corner in the flat, and that's the corner in the flat. You can see right there Johnson in position to make the play, so the flat route is not going to work. Outstanding job by Northwestern defensively, showing something they haven't truly showed a bunch throughout the season.
So 3rd down and 12 as they lose 3 on that play. Back to the 16. Into the corner, incomplete, and a marker down. Loveland, and Theron Johnson's going to be tagged with interference.
Teams have had success with the circus route. You hear me talking about it all the time.
Pass interference, defense number 10. The foul occurred in the end zone. The ball placed at the 2-yard line. It's 1st down and goal.
That's a nice job by Colson Loveland of getting vertical, right? Getting vertical and then trying to go to the corner. I'm just telling you, he's a big guy, so it's difficult for any corner, and Johnson just does what he can to stop the play. Now, defensive backs at home are going to say, that's great defense. Well, the referee thought otherwise.
Yeah, he had the shoulder pad held without question, and he did not turn his head backward either to spot the ball. Looks like a timeout has been taken.
Yeah, this is why Colson Loveland is such a matchup nightmare, because he is big, he's strong, and he's a great route runner. And we'll see if they use him to get in the end zone when we come back.
Then the runner, Alex Orji, started the next 3. He went 2-1. 1 yard so far, 5 passes, 5 rushes. 4 for 5 in the air. Max Bredesen has come in as an extra tight end.
Yes, he has, and I'm just telling you, follow him and you'll usually find the football. They have a lot of success off this left side of the offensive line.
Mullings dots the I and takes it to the goal line. Touchdown, Michigan.
This is a nice job. They go the opposite way, and there's a free hitter, but because of the power of Khalil Mullings, he still finds a way on senior day to get in the end zone. Outstanding job of him doing it by himself.
Well, you were right. They followed number 44, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Go right behind Bredesen. Mullins with his 9th touchdown rushing. The rest of the team only has 4 rushing touchdowns. Dominic Savada with the extra point. The Wolverines take advantage of the turnover by Jack Lausch. Ball security so vital. Mullings, the grad student from Boston, Massachusetts, parked his car in the end zone.
He parked his car.
There are different concerns moving forward without Bryce Underwood. We'll see what Brian Kelly has up his sleeve moving forward. That one goes through the end zone and out for the touchback, and Lausch will come back out there after the turnover in that opening drive. And we did touch on this with him yesterday about ball security. He made a mistake, no doubt about it, trying to force that one in when pushed out of the pocket early. But if they stay out of their own way, this is a Northwestern team that from an offensive standpoint matches up beautifully against Michigan's defense if they can control that mammoth front line of Graham, Grant, and Rayshon Benny. Got 2 first-rounders in that front line, and they try to run Porter through there, and you see how that ended. Nada, senor. Mason Graham right there, as advertised. Had a lovely conversation with him yesterday. There they are. Look at those names.
Yep, you got a freshman versus a veteran, right? Look at the snap difference, right? Those are 2 guys in the inside that are going to be button heads all game, and I think that's where the game is going to be played. It's going to be won and lost against those 2 guys, and to go with those snaps, Mason Graham also MVP of a Burroughs Bowl and a projected first round pick.
And pressure again, and down he goes. Kenneth Grant. Well, we mentioned them both when this series got underway, and they beckoned our call, did they not? Graham and Grant on those first 2 plays. And Azomo Radikai, 62. This is a tough job for him today, 62 and white.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big guy. Everybody remembers that athletic play last season against Penn State where he got his knees up and ran a running back down, but he is powerful at the point of attack. And the one thing I like about Wink Martindale's defensive line is the fact that they use their hands so well. Everyone on the defensive line uses violent hands.
3rd down and 18. Porter does get to the edge, but doesn't get a lot of yardage, but a late flag comes down. Uh-oh, let's see. Thrown in an area where you think perhaps holding, but we'll wait and see. Jeffrey Servinski is our referee, the white hat today. Our replay official upstairs is Tom Herbert, and it is holding.
And you expect Michigan to decline the penalty.
Holding. Offense number 80. That penalty's declined. It is 4th down.
Hayden Elegon, number 80, reserve wide receiver, got his arms out there and was holding. So it's a punt formation for Hunter Renner. Here's that holding that we were touching on. Yeah, he had a lot of jersey and some of the headgear to go with it.
And that's a really nice job by Zeke Berry, making sure he shows that he's being held, right? I'm trying to get to the running back, but I can't because I'm being held.
High and poor end over end punt. It takes a horrific bounce for Northwestern out of bounds back in their own territory. So not a good fan. Opening season 27. Original cost $950K. And it's the biggest house in all of college football. Great field position to start both drives. Tyler Morris on the receiving end after beginning this drive on the 48 of Northwestern. Their opening drive on their own 47. Xander Mueller the tackle.
That's a good job of getting to the flat in a different way, right? We talked about Northwestern with that soft coverage, and so instead of just throwing to the outside receiver on that hitch route, right, they take Morris from the inside out to the flat, right? Still, an easy throw attacking that soft coverage.
Loveland with a little motion, now in a slot right. And they look his way. He's got it. Just that quick slant. He's so quick. Gain of 11. Yeah, you can call him a tight end, but you better defend him like a wide receiver.
They motion him down and get him on an angle route, right? So the linebacker has to bubble over the top, and then he can just come underneath with the design pick by number 8, Tyler Morris. Outstanding design by offensive coordinator Kirk Campbell of getting Loveland the ball. We talked about in the open. You have to find ways, sustain drives, and get him the football because he's your best football player.
This is as sharp as Davis Warren has looked early in a game. You're not asking too much of him. Play within yourself. Edwards, and they sort of flooded the zone with that rollout to the wide side of the field. Theron Johnson, though, had none of it. He stayed home, just a gain of 1 on the reception. 2nd and 9 coming up.
Yeah, this is great. A great route here to the end zone, but it's missed, right? And I'm not really mad at Davis Warren for this. However, you do not want to turn down touchdowns into the end zone. A nice, outstanding route by Peyton O'Leary, a guy who was a lacrosse player, a great athlete who gets in the end zone. You have to take those opportunities.
Warren audibilizes into this play and nothing doing. Edwards stopped by Matt Uline, 37, the middle linebacker. He picked up the slack with Mueller out. He's really been tough the last couple of weeks for this Northwestern team. 3rd down and 9 coming up. Redshirt junior from Lake Forest, Illinois, Uline.
And this is where Michigan's offense has really struggled in that 3rd and 7+ area. They just haven't had great success. And you can see the graphic there, 19% conversions. That's last in the Big Ten. Let's see if they can remedy that on this 3rd down opportunity.
Tim McGargle, the defensive coordinator, looks like he's got playing eligibility left. He's so young.
Rolling on the field was a fumble, was recovered by the offense. That play is under further review.
It was a late fumble that we didn't see. That's why it took a while to unpile. I thought this was taking...
There's a lot of wrestling underneath.
Yeah, there was a lot of wrestling underneath, but no indication by anyone that the ball had been turned over. So we'll have to take a very close look at this and maybe call in for some help from the home office. Here's the late punch out.
That ball's out.
From Mueller. Ball is out, no question. Now who recovers it is the question.
Yeah, that's really good by...
Looks like Edwards got on top of it.
Yeah, Xander Mueller, I mean, that's what you get from Northwestern. And like I talked about, the culture that Braun is starting to build, that's an outstanding job of not waiting for the play to be over, right? You're going to attack and try to punch that ball out. Now, it needs to be a clear recovery for anything to be really different in this scenario. Michigan will likely retain the ball, but that's an outstanding job. And for Donovan Edwards, you have to protect the football.
On the field, stands is called. It's third down.
Edwards did get back on top of it. No clear recovery for anyone else, and there was no argument from Northwestern, but replay official Tom Herbert definitely wanted to take a look.
Hey, Tim, I'm just telling you, unforgivable things go down underneath those piles. I'm just telling you, you got to be strong-minded. You got to be strong physically to make sure you hold on to that football, because I'm just telling you, it gets dangerous.
It's like a production seminar at Fox.
You're not lying.
John Levette is loving that.
Yeah.
Benjamin Hall is in the backfield, number 28 for Michigan. A lot of pressure, and down goes Warren. Aiden Hubbard, 91. And a season-high 4 tackles last week in that game with Ohio State. Wrigley, you think about the 24 tackles, he's a tough customer, that guy.
Yeah, it's a nice job just walking the guard into the quarterback. Watch him just get in that forward lean position and power his way all the way to Davis Warren. We talked about the inability to have success on 3rd and 7+, and that trend continues with this field goal opportunity.
Well, Savada has hit field goals of 50 and 56. This will be another 56-yard try. Oh, my goodness. He got it. That brought a little archery move from his head coach.
And look at the operation, the snap, the hold, the boom. And that is as beautiful as it gets if you're a kicker.
Get your bow and arrow out, coach.
Can I kick it to all the
56 yards for Savada. Second time he's done that this season. And the Wolverines out to a 10-0 lead. You're right about the snap and the hold. A picture of perfection there.
And how about the music going to break? Can I kick it? Yes, he can. What a kick. I mean, those are some real good numbers. I'm not a fool and I'm not a scientist, but I do know some things, and that looks like 100% to me.
It does, and is. And he rests up by having Doman handle the kickoff chores. You know, you got to keep that leg
You got to keep it
warm.
good. Yeah, of course, especially in a cold day like this.
Hyman lets it go through yet again for the touchback. Well, Friday night on Fox, it's a Big 12 regular season finale in primetime, and it is a good one. Utah takes on one of the nation's best running backs, R.J. Harvey in UCF. The action begins at 8 Eastern, only on Fox. And our man Josh Sims was on hand for last night's Friday night affair in East Lansing. Connor Onion and Mark Helfrich with him. Got a chance to see some of that. They had a little more precip at Michigan State's locale than we've had here. Just a nice cold gray Big Ten day. Welsh's pass is caught. And the turf monster gets Bryce Kurtz right away after a gain of 8. It'll be 2nd and 2. This is a guy that could be very, very instrumental for Northwestern.
Yeah, Michigan has gotten burned by double moves. So you can see Zeke Berry being very careful as he backs up and essentially allows this play to happen and then goes to make the play. You would much rather give up an 8-yard gain than give up that double move big play touchdown that you know Northwestern has in their plan, because they've seen it happen to Michigan time and time again.
Zach Lujan told us, the offensive coordinator, we need to stay ahead of the chains. And they get 8 on first down, and look at this. Potential tackle for loss, but a nice stutter step to salvage the play by Hyman, who has some quickness. Makari Page comes over to make the stop. He'll wind up with a yard, so it'll be 3rd and 1. That could have been a loss of 5 or 6.
Yeah, Makari Page has really stepped up this season with his communication and leadership skills. And when we talked to defensive coordinator Wink, he said, listen, he's voted a captain, and that has given him a lot of confidence. And with Rob Moore out, it's so important for you to have senior leadership back there, and he is that leadership.
Coming down to the end of the quarter. All good for the home team after 1. A turnover that turned into 7, and And another quick drive with quality field position to get a 56-yarder. Trying to become bowl eligible. We open the second quarter. Tim Brando, Devin Gardner, Josh R. Sims on the sidelines. Another outstanding crowd on hand here at the Big House. Michigan, by the way, unranked for the 5th straight week. Now, before that, the Wolverines had been ranked in 54 straight polls dating back to the beginning of the 21 season, the second poll of that year, and had been unranked in the previous 10 polls before that. So this is like trying to bookend it, get to even, and hope for a postseason. Cam Porter will take it ahead for the first down as we open play here in the second quarter. Kenneth Grant, the big nose at 6'3", 340 from Gary, Indiana, with the tackle.
That's a really nice job by the offensive line, creating a new line of scrimmage. You got to get that line of scrimmage going that way. They do a nice job of just pushing. You don't need a bunch. You just need enough for the running back to get through. Nice job by Porter, making first contact and then driving his legs to get the first down.
Komolafe has come in, number 25. Caleb Komolafe, young man out of Katy, Texas. They're really high on him. Play fake to him. Pressure from the backside. It's Josiah Stewart. And he twirls down Jack Losh for a big loss to the 30-yard line.
This Josiah Stewart has been really, really good. Not the tallest man in the world, but I'm just telling you, that speed to the quarterback is dangerous. And Tiernan, the left tackle, number 72, found out on that last play. Stewart gets to Lausch and gets him to the ground.
7.5 sacks now for Josiah on the season. And it's second down and 18. This Michigan defense is stout. Their record may not be that great, but this defense, particularly up front, really fantastic. A.J. Henning on the receiving end. His second target of the day. Zeke Berry, number 10, comes up from cornerback to make the stop. He's having the time of his life playing against his old teammates. He told us he knows everything about them. They know everything about him.
Yeah. And he wants a piece of them.
Yes, he does.
And I said, do you have a name? Right? Do you have a specific guy? He said, I know them all, and I want a piece of all of them.
Tremendous amount of respect, but he knew what was ahead, wanted an opportunity to be a bigger factor, a larger factor offensively, and wisely made the move as a grad student to Northwestern. Lausch running out of time again, bailed out by the tight end, Thomas Gordon, 87, the grad student from Houston. And listen, he's a big target too, but the problem for them, and they knew this coming in, can you keep the pressure off? And right now, the answer to that is no.
It's very difficult, and Wink Martindale is doing a very good job, the defensive coordinator from Michigan, of finding ways to get to the quarterback, but only rushing forward, right? So now when you rush forward, you have coverage in the back end, and it makes it difficult for Lausch, who's still developing as a passer, reading defense, to see where this ball needs to go.
High snap, but Renner was able to control it, gets the kick away, and it is rolling down inside the 5. Dead at the 3. I think the fans thought that ball might have been touched by a defender. It was not, but a healthy roll of 56. Oh, Berry and Henning yapping away. Little wolfing taking place between the Wolverines and the Wildcats today.
It's halftime for you, Timmy.
And the band played on. The most difficult field position for Michigan yet today. They start this drive from their own 3 with Benjamin Hall out of the pistol formation well into the end zone.
And
5 yards deep.
That shows exactly how much they trust the young running back, Benjamin Hall, a guy who I think has a bright future at the University of Michigan.
Boy, he got hammered. And that ball is secured. That's the good news. But nothing doing as Xander Mueller made the stop at the point of attack.
Yeah, it's a nice job of getting into the backfield. They create an opportunity for number 4, Anto Saka, to cross the face of the tackle and get into the backfield right away. And the running back, Ben Hall, has nothing that he can do. However, he does a nice job of staying forward and not losing yards.
Yeah, Saka, that defensive end, 6'4", 247, set that one up for Mueller.
He's got really good pass rush skills, but you saw his ability as a run stopper on that play.
2nd and 10. Davis Warren over the middle to Morris. Got him a little breathing room out to the 10, maybe the 11. So give a couple of maybe 2.5 to 3 yards shy of a first down. Mueller again the stop.
Nice job, Davis Warren, going to the left with his eyes and then coming back to the middle. We call that progression, a pure progression read. Start left, progress across, and you find your open target. Morris standing right over the football to set up a third and a lot more manageable.
Now this is where you stack the box. You know what's coming, but can you stop it? 3rd down and 2. Hall remains the setback.
Follow Ben Bredesen.
Play fake. Oh, they're going to air it out. And it's Bredesen. You're right. One more time. Boy, what a veteran move on the part of my man Devin.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen him be the lead blocker, not just in this game, but all season. So why not bluff and send him out into the flat? He's a guy that can catch the football. When I talked to him on the sideline earlier when we were on the field, I said, are you going to put your face on somebody? He said, absolutely. But he didn't tell me he's going to be catching passes.
I thought you might stay down there for the rest of the day. You were having so much fun. Kirk Campbell looks on, the offensive coordinator for this Michigan team. Hall, nothing doing this time.
Hey, Tim, you know, it feels like you're trying to get rid of me. I mean, I can't help but think.
Well, you know, other than Spencer Tillman, all of my Fox analysts only lasted a year.
Oh, really?
Clapp moved up. Clapp moved up.
Brady Quinn, so you said I'm on my way, huh?
Brady Quinn moved up. I'm sure you'll be flying away sometime real soon.
No, Tim, I love you too much.
Old man River will just keep on plowing away.
Just chugging along. Chugga, 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 choo, choo.
2nd and 10. Davis Warren lets it fly. Oh, beautiful outlet to Benjamin Hall, but that was well read. What a tremendous tackle in space made by number 5 all over that play for Northwestern.
Yeah, Kenny Soares Jr. does a really nice job because that's that big play action and you try to get guys down the field. Nice job of Davis Warren finding his check down, but Soares Jr. is right there to make the play on Benjamin Hall.
Soares is a redshirt sophomore from Trumbull, Connecticut. Team from Trumbull many years ago won the Little League World Series.
Nice job for Northwestern's defense to continue to put Michigan in these 3rd and long situations.
Blitz off the corner. That pass is intercepted. It's Mueller. Xander Mueller. That one was airmailed by Warren. And Mueller was right there to become the recipient. There was a corner blitz coming, and Warren felt it.
Take a look at the bottom of your screen right there. Mueller, he's already getting to that pass coverage, right? He's looking up, and he's just standing there, and it's a gift. The ball is high. Tips and overthrows, tips and overthrows. You hear it talked about so much by defensive coordinators, and you have to make an offense pay. The ball is overthrown, and Mueller is right there to make the play.
7th interception thrown by Davis Warren, and now the Wildcats with a great opportunity on the left hash at the 20-yard line. Komolafe, number 25, is now in the backfield. They go with an offset formation, and it's Caleb Koafe. Down he goes inside the 10. It's a first down Northwestern. Amir Hall with the stop after a gain of 11.
It's just hard, tough running. You know Northwestern is going to get back to the run game. They're going to try to put themselves in position to go put this ball in the end zone, and they're going to lean on the running of the running back. But not only the running back, remember, Jack Lausch is a guy who is dynamic with his legs. I would imagine he gets on the edge at some point before they get down to that blue end zone of Michigan.
I can really tell why they're so high on Komolafe. He ran with intentionality there. That was their largest gain of the day from scrimmage. Now Lausch on a design quarterback counter runs right in, head straight into Mason Graham.
Yeah.
All 6'3", 320 of him from Mission Viejo, California.
And honestly, Mason Graham, he just shows how dynamic he really is because he's coming from the backside, right? He's over here coming to make that play. That play is going front side. He beats the guard quickly and just gets to Lausch as fast as he can. That's why he's going to be a first-round pick in next year's draft.
And now, because of the lack of depth, they're having to play a lot more downs, both he and Kenneth Grant. Wink Martindale told us, I will get him ready for the NFL. Komolafe the setback. Lausch again, this time in trouble. And ad-libs his way out of bounds, just shy of the 10. That bad snap came right off his own center.
Yeah,
right off the derriere here,
It's
Devin.
never good when you snap the ball off of your own derriere.
Yeah.
Honestly, you don't want to snap the ball off any derriere, but it really hurts the play because now Lausch, he can't look and see what the defense is doing. He doesn't panic. I love what he did there, taking the ball and just trying to get as much as he can with his legs to set up a third down. Do not make a bad play worse. He didn't do it there.
That's not supposed to happen to a center until you're about my age. In the red zone, only 49% of the time have they gotten touchdowns. Lausch straight back, pressured again, lets it fly, and just got rid of it. That time he wisely airmailed it. And they're going to have to settle for 3.
Yeah, immense pressure. And once again, I talked about it earlier, but Wink Martindale finding a way to get pressure with 4, especially down in tight, and there is nowhere to throw the football. Good job by Michigan's defense, making sure they cover everyone, and a good job by Lausch, making sure he throws that football away to preserve the first points of the game for Northwestern.
Luke Akers, 6 out of 9 in field goals, lines this one up from 28 yards. Gets it through, and it's 10-3. The dreaded turnover. But Coach Braun happy to get 3. Big Ten Conference. An amazing story and certainly worth honoring with another trophy. And you know this because you played in so many of them. Mm-hmm. You know, I was here for the Little Brown Jug game with Minnesota a few years ago, right when they were beginning to row the boat in Minneapolis, and it was a big, big game. The Floyd of Rosedale. We can think of all the different trophy
You had a little
games.
chili at the Brown Jug restaurant.
I
didn't
sure
you?
did.
Yes, you did.
With yet
little
another
coffee.
With yet another autographed picture of '98 over your shoulder.
Why didn't you get the Devin Gardner chicken tenders though? What about that?
They'll bring it out to the 25, and let's go down with more on that trophy from Josh Sims.
Well, Jack Lausch said after practice this week they took some time to talk about George Jewett and his impact and the importance of this trophy and what he meant not to both just these teams, but as well to the Big Ten. He said it's an honor to play for this trophy. And on the other side, Kalel Mullings said, listen, we have a good run going in these trophy games. We currently have this trophy. We're doing everything we can to keep this thing at Michigan.
Bowl eligibility hangs in the balance, and so does that trophy. On first down, Edwards trying to bounce it outside to no avail. Great pressure. Josh Fussell, 13, the cornerback, strung it out. Loss of 2. Back to the 23-yard line. Fussell had 7 big tackles in that game with the Buckeyes a week ago.
Yeah, and when you're a cornerback that's kind of a cover 2 corner, or even when you're in cover 4, if you see run, you've got to trigger fast. And Fussell does an outstanding job of triggering fast and getting a talented running back to the ground by himself.
Well, you see the numbers on Warren, 10 out of 12, but that one pick allowed Northwestern to get the field goal, and they read this one pretty quickly too. To Donovan Edwards, Damon Walters this time, the free safety making the stop.
Right, these cover 4 and cover 6 safeties, they trigger fast, right? They get down and they make sure they make plays on those short routes. Take a look at number 21, Damon Walters. He's the cover 4 safety. He is racing as soon as that ball gets thrown to make a play. Outstanding job of making a tackle behind the line of scrimmage, and they get Michigan yet again in that situation they desperately do not want to be in, 3rd and long.
Couple of 2-yard losses forces them into a 3rd and 14. That's a nice pass to Mullings. He's got some room, but he'll be a couple of yards shy of the first down. Out to near the 33 for a gain of 12. So those 2-yard losses problematic. Aiden Hubbard, 91, able to run him down, and they're into a punt formation here.
It's a big win for Northwestern, right? They get points on the board, and then in the following drive, they take that momentum and they transfer to the defensive side of the ball and get 2 negative plays and then a stop so they can get the ball back for their offense.
Doman will punt it away, averaging just over 42 yards per boot. A.J. Henning is the single safety. High, spiraling punt. Henning from his 19, and look out, a lot of green grass to the field side. And a tremendous return for outstanding field position. Henning gets it done, shoved out by the punter. Doman, 48-yard boot, a 30-yard return. Oh, can't you see? Can't you see? Michigan's storied tradition. Today, that pick, of course, helped lead them to the touchdown, and they've been stuffing the run and putting all kind of pressure with those 2 gigantic defensive linemen, Graham and Grant. And they've been living in Lausch's backfield. 3 sacks, 3 tackles for losses, and only 39 yards given up.
Yeah, this defense is as daunting as we kind of advertised, and the quarterback, Jack Lausch, only 4 of 7, 24 yards, and we talked about that interception that he threw early in the game.
Cam Porter back in the backfield on first down with the ball at the 46. Great field position after the punt return by Henning. Look out, going long for Kurtz. Kurtz comes up with it. A magnificent adjustment. He saw the ball, it was underthrown, and he made Michigan pay.
What an outstanding adjustment to make this catch by Kurtz. He slides down safe like he's running to first base. Outstanding job of a double move route. We talked about it. He goes, and he stutters. Now, this is a nice job by Zeke Berry, standing position, but the throw's underthrown. He adjusts, and what an outstanding catch.
They doubled their overall offense with that one play. They had 39 yards, and they got 39 on that pass completion. Porter ahead for 2, and that's all. Kenneth Grant making the tackle.
Hey, Tim, that's 4 straight weeks where at some point in the game you see a double move beat Michigan. Now, I have to reiterate, that's good coverage by Zeke Berry with the safety coming to help, but a much better play by Kurtz sliding down and making that play.
Yeah, look at that. That's the most by any Big Ten player with 0 touchdowns. Kurtz that's an amazing stat when you think about it. But this is a fantastic receiver. He missed the Purdue game with an undisclosed injury, but he rebounded big time in that game with the Buckeyes. Lausch underneath to Porter, and Cam Porter gets it inside the 10. Shoved out by Ernest Hausman, the junior from Columbus. 5-yard pickup for Porter.
Ernest Hausman is a monster in the middle, man. He does such a nice job. He leads the team in tackles with 70, and he's the green dot, right? So he's the guy that gets everyone in line and makes all the calls. And remember, 3rd and short here, you can get a first down without a touchdown. Jack Lausch's legs have to be accounted for, and Hausman may be the guy to do it.
Coming down to the 2-minute timeout. Looks like they're going to wait for it. Understandably so, with a 3rd and 3 coming up. Well, they took a timeout instead. Well, you can't leave them, right? You might as well use them. An additional timeout coming with the 2-minute mark. Interesting decision there. Let's check in with Mike Hill for what's coming up on the State Farm Halftime Show.
Coming up on the State Farm Halftime, Ohio State ruins Indiana's fairy tale story. Ole Miss on major upset alert in the swamp. And Miami waits until the 4th quarter to light up the scoreboard. Me, Coach, and Acho can't wait to light up this halftime for you, Tim and Devin. We'll see you then.
Yes, you will.
Yes, indeed. And Tim, just to go back to that timeout, I like it. Right, because if you get the first down here, you built in another opportunity to stop the clock where you can still run the football inside maybe the 5-yard line, depending on how far they get here.
Leaves more of the playbook open to you, doesn't
Yes, it does.
Yep. The ball is at the 8-yard line on the right hash. See what Zach Lujan, the offensive coordinator, has in mind. Porter lines up behind Lausch, out of the pistol. 2 wides and an extra tight end. Lausch's pass to the corner to Kurtz. Knocked away by Zeke Berry. He may have been deked, Zeke, by Kurtz on that 39-yarder, but he was up to the task on that fade pattern to the wide side of the field.
What a nice job of Berry, not backpedaling and understanding that slot fade is in play and racing to go close the distance and getting right in front of the football. If you have the football and then you're in between the wide receiver, you have a really good chance of stopping that play and outstanding technique of getting your eyes back to the quarterback.
Not the easiest of angles when you're this close. Hash on the right side as they go for the field goal Akers. Well, he puts it through without a problem. And that takes us to the 2-minute timeout. Michigan will have at least one more opportunity to see if they can accomplish something on the offensive end. Like Wisconsin and Nebraska today, teams playing for bowl eligibility. November is to remember. Consultant through a search firm, and he credits Holtz with allowing him to understand how to become a head football coach.
Yeah.
He had been a position coach and a coordinator, but never a head coach. This kick is going to go out of bounds, which will give them great field position at the 35.
Kick out of bounds. Kicking team number 11. The ball to be placed at the 35-yard line. First down and 10, Michigan.
It's a big Michigan, as Bob Beaver used to say, in Ohio State at noon, only here on Fox. Donovan Edwards in the backfield, and he'll be the out pitch on the check down, and he'll get it to about the 43-yard line, so a gain of 8 on that pass play. Going back to Skip, I wanted to mention him because he's close to both you and me and his wife, Jennifer. He went on and on about how close Skip's wife, Jennifer, was to Kristen, Coach Braun's wife, helping him become the successful coach he was as the Big Ten Coach of the Year a season ago. Frederick Moore makes that catch, stops the clock with a gain of 6.
This is good. This is good by Davis Warren. The one thing you're seeing is his ability to stay in the pocket, right? They've been working very hard with him on getting up in the pocket, climbing up into the pocket rather than popping back and creating danger for himself. That time he gets into the pocket and he finds a receiver outside more, and he's able to get him out of bounds as well.
All of his completions have been short passes like these, quick outs, slants, and such. Peyton O'Leary receives that one for a gain of 6. He did airmail a pass down the seam that led to an interception.
Yeah, they're choosing to go fast here rather than use one of those 3 timeouts, and I can say I do agree with it.
He's 15 out of 17 for 90 yards is number 16, and Edwards trying to get to that second level. Spot him right at the 41 for the first down, so move the chains.
That extra effort, I think, gave him the first down. He dived, and so now you can reserve those 3 timeouts as well. And now the playbook is completely open. You've crossed the 50. You're in territory where you can start to go and get in the end zone.
Out of the shotgun, Warren again underneath on the check down to Edwards. Pretty simple. And they are well within field goal territory for that big leg of Dominic Zavada.
Yeah, it's another first down, and although the clock stopped momentarily, Coach Jerome Moore elects to call a timeout, which I don't disagree with, right? Call a timeout, get a really good play. You see the offense is moving. Understand, maybe call 2 plays in the huddle so that you maybe can preserve some of those timeouts again.
Boy, does that kickoff going out of bounds, giving them an extra 10 yards coming to play.
Hey, Tim, we've been working together for, what is it, 14, 15 straight weeks now?
Yeah, we did work week 0.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
What is the one thing I hate the most?
The ball being kicked out of bounds.
Oh, my goodness. Right, there's no defense. Right,
Yep.
there's nobody hitting you. There's nothing happening. There's not even a lot of wind. We're in the stadium. It's a beautiful day. Kick the ball in bounds, and they don't. And you can see the result. Michigan's getting an opportunity to go put points on the board before the half.
Yeah, they rely so heavily, this Michigan team, on the short passing game. They really don't want to get too vertical at all.
And because of that short passing game, 9 receivers have caught passes for Michigan. And Colson Loveland only has 1 catch on 1 target.
That one thrown in the dirt as the pressure started to come to Davis Warren in the area of Donovan Edwards. So it's 2nd and 10.
As much as you would like an accurate throw, that's not all bad, just because that ball's probably going to be tackled in bounds before a first down, so you'd have to use one of those timeouts, and it would have been a minimal gain anyway.
Now you see they've got 2 left, Northwestern with 1. Frederick Moore, the wide receiver, he's a speed merchant, number 3, down at the bottom of your screen. Warren's pass incomplete. Loveland running that crossing pattern, a deep over, as you like to call it. Nothing doing. 3rd down and 10.
It's a really nice job by Mueller, and we've seen him have that interception, be in position, and that time he's playing that underneath coverage versus man-to-man, right? So he's sitting right here. He starts to move, and he's underneath, and Davis Warren can't see him, and he's able to dive outside and make sure he stops that play. That's essentially a double team on Colson Loveland.
Davis Warren has some room, threads the needle to Frederick Moore. And he's got the first down. Theron Johnson with the stop, so now they can take a shot if they like.
Since Davis Warren has come back, we've started to see him start to create with his legs. Watch him string this out, string it out, string it out. You always have the luxury of throwing the football away. He throws it back inside, and Moore understands that his quarterback is moving, and he gets nice and friendly. Outstanding play by Davis Warren.
Yeah, I think Theron Johnson was surprised that he chose to throw it in that direction. 20 yards on that completion. That's their longest play offensively of the afternoon. Playbook is open. Back of the end zone, incomplete, intended for Tyler Morris, number 8. As we mentioned, this playbook is wide open. That was Robert Fitzgerald, number 6, that was in coverage for Northwestern.
And that was really nice coverage by him. I mean, Morris gave him a move in the route, and usually it frees you up. He didn't go for it. He stayed right there in position, and he took the play completely away, and Davis Warren just had to chuck it out of the back of the end zone.
Warren on this drive, 5 out of 8 for 50 yards. By far the most productive of the day for him. Play fake. And there's Loveland. There's Loveland. Just shy of the 2. Timeout.
Watch Davis Warren retreat, 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 understanding that he's going to get Loveland open, but he has to buy the time. He buys it, and then Colson Loveland doing what he does best. He does an outstanding job after the catch, putting this inside the 5 with 1 timeout remaining.
Well, the catch is good enough to put them on the doorstep here at the 3-yard line, but that last reception that he made, Loveland, gave him the most receptions ever in a single season by a Michigan tight end. As we mentioned, he's really a tight end in title only. He really does line up off the line of scrimmage more often than not.
Yeah, and it's because of his work in the offseason, right? We talked to the coaches, and I think his tight end coach, Coach Kasula, is a big part of his development as a wide receiver. Colson Loveland already was a really good blocker. He's already a really good pass catcher, but the details as a wide receiving tight end, as a route runner, is what he worked on all summer. And you can see that those workouts are paying dividends in the season.
Mullings in the backfield on 3rd and 2. Warren, Loveland, touchdown.
I mean, I just talked about it, guys. The route. Take a look at the detail in the route. He's going to go here and then reverse underneath, and he doesn't continue to go. He's nice and friendly and wide open for Davis Warren. He snaps it down, and there's nobody there. The easiest touchdown Davis Warren has thrown all season.
Fifth touchdown reception for Loveland. And the 6th touchdown pass thrown by that man, Davis Warren, who's short of an interception, has been outstanding in the first half.
You expect to get man-to-man coverage, so you stare down your future first-round tight end, and you get it to him as quickly as you can for 6. Michigan was rolling on that drive.
Yeah, 11 plays in less than 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean,
how about that? Alex Orji, the first to greet Davis Warren, a guy who's had an opportunity, who actually has a winning record as the starting quarterback, right? The biggest fan for his quarterback, Davis Warren.
So when Sarge and the guys, Emmanuel Acho and Coach Pete, get rolling, you happen to have some of that homemade ice cream from?
Oh my goodness, Blank Slate, man.
Is that place awesome?
Man, Blake Slate right here in Ann Arbor. I mean, they really took care of us, didn't they?
Did they ever?
And that ice cream, you
and our entire
my friend.
crew.
I don't know. I'm going to call Terry because I don't know if you're supposed to be eating the whole extra large cup of ice cream with a brownie underneath.
With a warm brownie underneath it, yeah.
Madagascar vanilla. Did you love it?
Man, that good. By the way, they began making that while working here at Michigan, and then they started their own business.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
There it is.
We took ours, and they even got some for the crew, right? Took some back to the truck, and everybody had ice cream, and they were having some technical difficulties, and now they felt better because of Blank Slate ice cream.
That's what it's all about.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're going to take you into the studio after the commercial break. We'll get you out to Acho and Coach Pete and Sarge for the State Farm halftime show. Meanwhile, just remember, have some hot chocolate too. Everyone's a winner here. As the saying goes, save your best for last. Well, after the first 30 minutes of this game, that's what's happened for Michigan and their seniors, because from an offensive standpoint, this has been as good as it's ever been for Davis Warren. And, you know, when you think about the kind of play that he's had, it's been incredible. And as an old quarterback, you can understand this. To be as successful as he was in that first half, and it come now, couldn't be better.
Yeah, I mean, you're supposed to hit your stride towards the end of the season, right? You're supposed to continue to get better, and that's what he's done, and it was on full display in that first half. I mean, he's 19 of 24, 131 yards, and that touchdown pass to Loveland. Now, He's thrown for 131 yards, right? That is more than Michigan's team averages for games. And he's done that in the first half. Yeah. It's been really cool to see. However, there's just one blunder, right? Throwing that ball, and it's high. And it's less of a decision error and more of he just made a bad throw. And if he cleans that up, man, this could be an electrifying day for him moving forward.
And with the opportunity to not only play his best game now, get the bowl eligibility question off the table.
Oh, yeah.
And begin concentrating on being
the big one.
David against Goliath.
The big one.
In the matchup that you've won for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when you look around college football today and you see what's been happening, and it doesn't matter what part of the country we're talking about, okay? Ask Lane Kiffin, okay? Ask Deion Sanders right now, who's trailing at halftime. You guys are keeping up with all of these games in November that we'll always remember. Those numbers, those stats tell you a part of the story, but the other part of it is in today's college football, don't equate success with brand.
Yeah.
Because we have parity in the game unlike any other time in college football's history. And I keep telling people who are having difficulty dealing with this transition, the best of times are the times we're in.
Yeah.
And it's only going to get better.
I couldn't agree more. You know, everybody was saying that the transfer portal and NIL, it's going to ruin college football. And I think it's quite the contrary.
Yeah.
Football in college is the best it's ever been. And if it continues to go this way and everybody continues to do it right and develop players, like you said, that parity is going to be the best thing for college football all around the country. Fans know that they have a chance for their team to be successful no matter the brand.
And David Braun knows as well as anyone that this game's not over.
Yeah.
And we have not seen the best of Lausch to this point. Maybe the biggest mistake his team made was kicking the ball out of bounds at the end of the half after they got the field goal. And with 2 minutes left, Michigan was able to matriculate the ball down the field, as Hank Stram once said in a Super Bowl, to get an easy touchdown before the intermission. But if Lausch can get better protection, there are some big plays still left in their arsenal.
And defensively for Northwestern, they're about to kick the ball away to Michigan. They had done a good job at some points of getting them into those 3rd and 7+, 3rd and long situations where Michigan just hasn't had great success. They have to try to get negative plays on 1st and 2nd down so that Michigan has to go up against that stat that has not been conducive to their success throughout the season.
Jordan Marshall is deep and calls for the fair catch. They'll bring it out. And let's go down to Josh Sims, who has the story on Michigan.
Well, Sharon Moore told me he is really happy with the way the defense played in the first half, saying they only gave up that one big play. But he said in the second half on offense, we need to get this running game going. He likes the way his quarterback, Davis Warren, is playing. He said that drive right before the half, the way he extended those plays and got it into the end zone at the end was huge for the confidence of his young quarterback.
Khalil Mullings is in the backfield, number 20. Giving Donovan Edwards a little respite to start this half. And those fresh legs of Mullings get out for a first down, a gain of 13. And a first down.
Yeah, and when we talked to Sharon Moore yesterday, he talked about his transition to being the head coach. It's just so different. He said he used to just sit in his office and he'd be able to watch film all day. Well, that's just not happened, right? He spends more time recruiting and being a head coach, more of a CEO. But he said this week, they have to become bowl eligible and get ready to play Ohio State. So he's watched a ton more film and made sure he had a big part of what the offense is doing.
Mullings had 6 yards of rushing at the half, and he just got twice that on one play, and he's going to double up and then some on this play. Hello, how do you do? Turner pushes him out of bounds to save what could have been a touchdown.
Evan Link has been under scrutiny. He's the right tackle, and he does an outstanding job of just taking a guy and ejecting him out of the way so Khalil Mullings can have a big run down the right sideline. I just love to see a young guy who's being criticized respond. He responds in a big way right there. Nice job by Evan Link.
47 yards, and you're right, Link with a marvelous block to springboard that play. Donovan Edwards burrows ahead for about 2, maybe 3. Donovan Edwards is moving in on a record himself as a running back pass receiver. We'll keep an eye on that. He was on the receiving end of a lot of those checkdowns by Davis Warren in the first half. 2nd down and 8 coming up. Mullings is back in there. Quick pitch. Mullings running tough. He planted that foot and cut right back upfield. Stopped by Michael Kilbane, 47. Backup defensive end, sophomore from Lakewood, Ohio. A gain of 3. 3rd down and 5 coming up.
So in this area of the field and the way that the Michigan defense is played, Michigan can truly treat this like 4-down territory where they run a run play here to try to get this yardage, or they can drop their quarterback Davis Warren back. And I believe that he's played well enough. He's proven that he can be trusted here in this game that they can feel comfortable doing so.
Out of the shotgun. Right up the gut. It's Mullings. It's touchdown. That looked a little like Michigan, the 2023 version, didn't it?
Just watch the middle with Greg Crippen and his compadres to the left and to the right. Just clear it out for the big fella, Khalil Mullings, number 20 in blue, to trot his way into the end zone.
That brought, I'm sure, a few smiles to the old running back alumni. Thinking about Gorham, thinking about Hart. Those guys would have loved that running play.
Of course, how about those linemen, Greg Crippen, Josh Freed, and Giovanni El Hadi to get the big guy, Khalil Mullings, into the end zone.
And then the 10-yard touchdown scamper. Hyman is back deep for Northwestern. And they'll start on the 25, and let's see what the story is on the Wildcats, courtesy Josh Sims.
Well, Tim, the goal coming out of the half for David Braun was to get his team to get a stop on that very first drive from Michigan. Did not happen. So now it's on to goal number 2. He said on offense, it's about getting touchdowns, no longer field goals. He said that's been a killer. When we get in the red zone, we have to capitalize.
Yeah, and the pressure's been the problem, Josh, and the pressure from inside with Grant and Graham has been incredible. And then when you've got it coming off the edge to go with it, and guys like Barham and Housen, those linebackers, it's tough for anyone, even one that can move around like Lausch. Quick cross incomplete, dropped. Marshall Lang, 88, the tight end, was hearing some footsteps from those said linebackers, Hausman among them, and drops it at 2nd down and 10.
And Tim, you talk about Mason Graham, Kenneth Grant, and when we talked to Mason Graham yesterday, he talked about learning from great former defensive linemen at Michigan. Mozzie Smith, Chris Jenkins, Aiden Hutchinson, everybody loves that name, who was kind of the proponent to start this run that Michigan is on. And he said he believed Michigan is D-line U. Brandon Graham still at the next level doing well. I mean, I can't argue with him.
Cam Porter in the backfield out of the shotgun. Lausch's pass is cradled at the 32 by A.J. Henning, who was hoping for better days and better plays. He's been targeted 3 times. They've did a nice job of covering up their old teammate early on. It's 3rd down and 3 coming up. I absolutely agree with you about D-line U. No question.
No, it wasn't me. It was Graham.
Oh, I know. I don't know. You could play some D-line now.
What? That's a personal attack. How about 3rd down, though? This is what you have to do if you're Jack Lausch. You got to use your legs if you can.
Down he goes. Back at the 20. The pressure, the bottom line. This time off the edge, Josiah Stewart. He's up to 8.5 sacks now.
I mean, watch this ability. Speed to power. They call this speed to the power. at the top of your screen. Watch him take off fast and then turn that into power and just eject the tackle out of his way to get to Lausch. Lausch doesn't even have an opportunity to use those aforementioned legs.
Well, so they lose yardage, another 10. Renner will have to boot it away, and the pressure comes. End over end punt. Tyler Morris, look out. Open spaces to the 45 of Northwestern. Now we know what happened on drive number 1. They'll have outstanding field position when they get it back here. 42-yard boot, 19 on the return. Stay right where you are.
Gobble in 3, 2, 1, go! And they're off. Look at those turkeys go. Who's going to be the first one to make it to the dinner table? And it looks like it is Owen in a landslide. Congratulations, Owen. You
Harbaugh, and a run of 3 consecutive, and Sharon Moore, who took over for him, both as an interim and now full-time as head coach, will be on hand for that matchup, and a big one it'll be next week on Fox. Play fake to Mullins, and Tyler Morris just sort of sat down on that one, and will get it to the 34-yard line of Northwestern for a first down in front of Mac Uline, a gain of 11.
And the improvement for Davis Warren continues, right? He wants to throw the ball outside the free access. Northwestern reacts quickly, and so he holds it and he waits and he goes to his next read for a nice pickup for a first down.
This has been a tremendous half and then some of football for that offensive line. Scorned, though it may have been much of this season. Little reverse to Frederick Moore. And a nice saving tackle in space by Coco Azama, wearing the numeral 0, the team captain. Old school safety, a big time hitter for this Northwestern team after a gain of 7.
That's a really nice tackle, right? You're in open space, and it's hard to get these athletes to the ground, but he does an outstanding job. Azama is their biggest hitter, right? And so you don't even have to wrap up when you're a big time hitter. You just give a nice pop, and he gets to the ground.
Micah Kapaana has come in.
Yeah, they said they would try to get him the football at some point. He's a really nice athlete for Michigan's future.
Number 29, and just moved out of 25 to wearing that numeral. And they said, yes, he would get in. That pass does fall incomplete, and it's third down. There he is. There's
everybody.
Micah.
Everybody in the building is raving about this young man. Support staff, I've heard all good things about his future and his explosiveness and ability to make plays with the football in his hands, and I can't wait to see him, right?
Yeah.
He's from Bishop Gorman, right? A power that everybody knows about, so it'd be cool to see him get an opportunity and show what he's really got.
Hawaiian background, so it's Ka'apana. Pronunciation of his surname, and Mullins is back in. Third down and 3. Right up the middle again. He is running hard. He runs right into Uline again. As I was mentioned before, that offensive line, as you touched on, has been scorned much of this season. They're having quite a day.
He does a nice job. Watch the little stutter move that kind of sets up his blocks. Bredesen is in position now, and he can get just enough for the first down. Mullings has really improved as a runner. The patience, the ability to set up his blocks and create winning angles for his offensive line and fullback.
Hinton, Preeb, Crippen, Al-Hadi, and Link all performing admirably today in that forward wall for Michigan. On the check down, Mullings. Shoved out at the 18-yard line after a 5-yard pickup. Well, they've been in rhythm today. Short of the interception, they have moved the ball with the short passing game precisely the way Kirk Campbell would have wanted. The offensive coordinator for this Michigan team that has struggled so much
Yeah, and I think Kirk Campbell's done a nice job of protecting him with the play calls, right? Nice, easy throws, and Davis Warren has done a nice job of avoiding the big mistake, excluding that one interception.
Nothing doing this time for Mullings. Uline again in on the stop. 3rd down and 5 coming up.
Really nice job by the defensive line of Northwestern. Bastone, big, strong guy in the middle, just stones that offensive line. There's nowhere for Mullings to go.
3 wides to the top of your screen. It's Marlon Klein. It's in the slot coming in motion.
Kendrick Bell's got a one-on-one down at the bottom of your screen.
Mullings again. Well, he almost broke that. A lot of anticipation from the crowd. Azama again with the tackle.
Yeah, I mean, why throw it though, right? When you've got an opportunity with your offensive line imposing their will, and then you add in Marlon Klein coming to make sure he kicks out. Outstanding job of putting his face on the linebacker and allowing Mullings to burst through the hole for a 1st down.
Mullings has 106 yards from scrimmage, 89 on the ground, 89 of that. So he's moving in on a 100-yard day rushing the football. That 47-yarder was big to open his half. It's an end around to Morris. Tyler Morris near the sticks for what would be a 1st and goal. This time it'll be 2nd down and short with the line to make, just being inside the 3.
Yeah, it's almost the perfect defense for a jet sweep, where they call this jet sweep versus man-to-man coverage, and so the man is just chasing across the field to make the play before the end zone.
That Northwestern defense is breathing hard.
Yeah.
They are a bit gassed. Tim Margile, the defensive coordinator, looking for something to dial up to keep Michigan out of the end zone. Mullings has the 1st down, and Xander Mueller again with the tackle. But they are getting to the 2nd level. And Bastone has been, as good as he is, he's been dealt with very well by this Michigan offensive line.
This time the most important block getting to the 2nd level came from Max Bredesen, number 44. I mean, Michigan fans all over know exactly what he means to this offense, and he puts it on display again as he tries to get Khalil Mullings into the end zone. They pick up a 1st down, so now they've got 3, and I imagine they use all 4 to get in the end zone.
Yeah, they're looking to get that foot on the jugular and not let go. Mullings, touchdown. That's his 3rd of the day, 11th on the season.
I mean, just watch Bredesen get his way into the line of scrimmage and make sure that his running back gets in.
Now, this Wolverines team could not have asked for a better opportunity to take advantage of to get them in a great state of mind for next week. We thought this game would be highly competitive.
Yeah.
We thought Northwestern had a very good chance today.
Yeah.
They've now turned this into a laugher. (31-6) our score, and what a coming out party for Khalil Mullings. And it hasn't been an easy season for him. Let's go down to Josh Sims for more.
Well, yeah, and I talked to Khalil Mullings this week, coming off a game where he didn't get the touches he's used to getting. And I asked him about that, and he said, look, there's been times where I've played really well this season, and there's been times where I've struggled. It's all about consistency for me. I can't get too high when I'm playing well. I can't get too low when I am struggling. The most important thing for me is to continue to work hard, and when I get my opportunities, take advantage. And guys, we are seeing that today. Career high, 3 touchdowns from him, and he's taking it all in stride.
That's true, Josh, but Devin, I would also add he was being kind to his teammates, because that offensive line was not nearly as productive for the bulk of this season as they have been today.
Of course, they've done a really nice job, and And I'm just telling you, Khalil Mullings has started a game at linebacker, is playing both linebacker and running back, had a nice pass against Ohio State that helped him win that football game. He's playing on senior day like a senior, and it's really cool to see.
Yep. Hyman with the return. And he gets it out to the 21-yard line.
Joseph Hyman returned the kickoff.
And let's see if Northwestern can respond in some way, get anything going. Henning has been kept under wraps, and Jack Lausch has been feeling the heat from that push up front from Grant and Graham. That second level speed and power of Hausman and Barham. And it's kept them in check.
I mean, but Tim, there's a lot of game left. And so but if you want to stay in this game and become bowl eligible today, Jack Lausch has to spark something. Something has to happen on this drive.
And that something happening is courtesy the defensive front, Rayshawn Benny, 26. He's overshadowed a bit by his running mates down there, Graham and Grant, but he's pretty stout himself.
Oh, yeah, he is a monster, and he's a guy coming off of injury, a season-ending injury in the bowl game a year ago. But I'm just telling you, Tim, you didn't know this, but he played for my high school coach. So you know he's good, is what I'm saying. Greg Carter, Hall of Famer, outstanding coach, Oak Park High School. Rayshawn Benny making his presence felt.
Well, that loss of 3 has them down to 78 total yards. More pressure off the edge, and down he goes. TJ Guy is the guy with that one, number 42.
We've seen the talented Josiah Stewart do it. Now we see Guy. Speed to power. Speed to power. And he ejects the tackle yet again and gets to Lausch with a little help from Rayshawn Benny to finish him off.
3rd and 18. Komolafe has checked in at running back. I don't know that he's got time to get a seam route off, if at all. And just as I say that, he gets it off, and Bryce Kurtz with a must catch. And they advance the ball to the 35 for the first down, a gain of 19.
A really nice catch. It's a breaking in route, but watch the details. Vertical and then reduce back so that you can cut down the angle of the throw and not allow the down safety to make a play. Outstanding details in that route, and a great throw by quarterback Jack Lausch to convert on 3rd down.
From the 35, first down. Komolafe remains in at running back. Little RPO that was well read and almost picked. Henning did catch it, but there was a risk-reward play being made by Amir Hall, and he didn't get burned, but he almost had a pilfer that would have been a pick 6.
Yeah, you know, and a lot of people at home who love basketball, you know, you're a basketball guy, you know that hesitation, right?
Yeah.
Well, he's going to put like a hesitation on the blocker, and it allows him to sneak right past, and like you said, almost intercept the football. A nice combat catch, but behind the line of scrimmage for A.J. Henning.
Yeah, I've done a few games over at Chrysler.
Decent. Decent amount.
Just a few. Lausch in trouble. Airmailed the pass incomplete for Henning near midfield.
Lausch's pass incomplete, out of bounds.
Yeah, and he just, like you said, he's under immense pressure, and he really doesn't have time to get this throw out. And as he's getting hit, he makes a nice throw. If we were in Canada, right, and that field was just a little bit wider, that'll be a completion, but he cannot get the ball there in time before the receiver's out of bounds, and TJ Guy again making his presence known.
Speaking of Canada, a pretty fair quarterback from Boston College that played in Canada, in Calgary, Doug Flutie.
Yeah.
40 years ago today, hit the Hail Mary to Gerard Phelan to beat Miami. Over the middle and caught. And once again, Marshall Lang gets it out for the necessary yardage to move the sticks again out to the 46.
The one thing that Jack Lausch has worked extremely hard on is playing on time. 1, 2, 3, hitch, and drive that ball on the numbers of your tight end. It gives Lang the opportunity to catch and power his way for a first down.
Well, to your point, they are playing as though the game's on the line right now, Northwestern. Lausch That pass was overthrown, intended for Kurtz. He had him. And let's go quickly to Mike Hill in Los Angeles for an All-State game break. Oh, those Golden Gophers trying to get another big one for P.J. Fleck. We saw them a few weeks back in Champaign-Urbana with a huge road win. Lausch is now 10 of 17 for 106 yards. 2nd and 10, and he's got Joseph Hyman behind him. And again, they go with that RPO look. They set it up to Henning, but it was again well read by Michigan.
That's a backward pass. I think that's going to be a fumble, and they're going to move this line of scrimmage back a few yards.
Yeah, they are. They sure are.
Yeah, that's a backward pass, and so it's equal to a fumble, right? You can see he's right there, and he throws the ball, and where it lands, it's behind where he released the football, right? A bad throw by him, but the most important thing, you lose yardage and create a 3rd and much longer.
Well, they've converted a couple of 3rd and longs to get it here. And given the score of this game and the time remaining in the 3rd, they may be in 4-down territory.
Keep your eyes on number 1, Jay-Sean Barham. He's the spy.
Incomplete. Kurtz, the intended receiver, Amir Hall in coverage. 4th and 13 is not 4th and 5.
And Tim, we've seen a lot of zone coverage from Michigan, which is a little uncharacteristic for Wink Martindale, but on that play they go back to their fail-safe, what they love, man-to-man coverage, and it forces Jack Lausch to be extremely accurate with the throw, and he's not able to do it. I expect for them to go back to that fail-safe, go back to man-to-man, and force him to try to make a accurate throw again.
David Brown decides to go for it on 4th and 13. They're 11 of 15 on the year. That's 73%. But this is a tough take. Intercepted by Mason Curtis. And the Wolverines will have it at the 42. His 2nd interception. And we got a marker down, it appears. They got a flag down.
Morning, Michigan. It's their first of the ball game. There's no yardage penalty involved. 1st down and 10, Michigan. Timeout on the field.
Well, Jeffrey Sarvinsky took care of it for us. Cue the commercials. And the Michigan defense does it again. Booth, why do you wear glasses?
Because you're cool.
I'm cool, and I'm doing what 98 tells me to do. I'm in his crib.
Will2johnson.com. You can get your own if you want.
Will2johnson.com. Well, I got mine.
Yeah,
I'm hoarding them, yeah. And as we come back, this pass is caught by Bredesen. And number 44, who's done some damage blocking today, has also been on the receiving end a couple of times.
Does that not look like when he's just blocking? Right now he's just blocking with a football. Boom! I mean, that is violent. Controlled aggression. Outstanding job by Bredesen.
Sort of the theme of my partner when he gets to the booth.
It's
controlled
true.
aggression,
True.
yeah.
I can't even deny it. It's true. No lies detected.
Edwards. Had a great time chatting with Donovan yesterday, and he kind of kept it in perspective. And I said to him, you know, he's one of the most exciting and enjoyable college players I've ever seen play, and he just took it in stride. He's got some attitude about him.
Yeah.
A lot of fun, and a young man that, like so many today, is enjoying this last opportunity to play at home. As we come to the end of the 3rd quarter, it'll be 3rd and 4 when we come out of the break. Sharon Moore's got to be pleased, baby. This 3rd quarter has belonged to Michigan. And by the way, when you hear Bob Efer's Michigan, he got that from Fielding Yost. Fielding had a long, strong West Virginia accent. As we open the 4th quarter, they've got the ball at their own 48-yard line, facing a 3rd down and 4. Tim Brando, Devin Gardner, Josh Sims. Happy you joined us today on FS1. Wolverines looking like their old selves. This young man playing his best game ever, and there's Marlon Klein, number 17. Used somewhat at tight end. They also have had Max Bredesen playing big today. Hogan Hansen plays some of that position. May even see Jalen Hoffman before this game is out.
You know, what he's practiced in the bye week is getting into the pocket. You can see it's paying dividends, right?
Yeah.
He gets into the pocket and he creates so many opportunities. He throws for a first down, and that's an easy throw for Davis Warren to make.
I mean, this is not a bad Northwestern team, despite their record coming in. This was a team that matched up pretty well against them. Look at that. It's like the Blue Sea opened up for Donovan Edwards. Saving tackle by Damon Walters. Otherwise, he's in there padding his stats and adding to his career numbers.
I mean, just take a look. This middle has been outstanding all day, getting to the second level. I talked about it. Greg Crippen, Josh Preed, and Giovanni El Hadi just parting the Red Sea and allowing Donovan Edwards to get down the field.
From the 20-yard line, Edwards now with 45 on the ground, 17 receiving. There he goes again. Big time. Rolling the 7, Donovan Edwards.
On the last play, they double to the second level. This time, we pull and make sure you get those guys out of the way, and it creates the same effect. Nice job by Donovan Edwards, sticking that left foot in the ground and getting all the way to the end zone. Michigan has done an outstanding job in the interior of their offensive line of moving guys and also protecting in the pass game.
Statistically, his best game of the season was at Washington. But he's moving in on that kind of day. He's had a lot of help today from Kalel Mullins, who is breaking out. But so too can number 7. The senior from West Bloomfield, Michigan.
That's all on senior offensive linemen, moving guys out of the way and allowing that running game to really get going in the second half.
Hyman from his 2. Trying to stay alive, but there's too much maize and blue. Stop around the 14. I think they'll mark him forward progress at the 15 before pushing him back. 38-6. What an onslaught, and a defense that's just been incredible today. I think it starts with putting Northwestern behind the chains.
100%. They haven't been able to establish that run game that they like to get to help them in the passing game. And when you have -4 yards rushing, it's going to be tough to win a game in this rivalry.
Wink Martindale has got to be pleased. Almost picked off. That pass hung up a little on Lausch, hitting the intended receiver, and Jair Hill had a shot at it. Yes. He was very, very close, number 35 in maize and blue.
As Jair Hill wearing number 35 today, he's usually number 20. Watch him stay disciplined and just drive and make sure that he gets in there before that ball gets there. Like, Jack Lausch has a strong arm. That ball is outside and it's out there, but the coverage is such that it cannot get into the waiting arms of A.J. Hennings.
I'm a little angry at myself about not asking Wink Martindale a certain question yesterday, and I'll tell you about it in a moment.
Oh, wow.
All right. Porter, not there. I meant to ask him, how many times do you hear it, Wink, that you share the same name with one of the great game show hosts of all time? The great Wink Martindale was the outstanding host of countless game shows in the 70s out of Jackson, Tennessee. Wink has got to be in his late 80s now, and one of the great game show hosts ever.
You know, Tim, you're telling that story, and I said, yeah, as if I knew, and I didn't. I really didn't. I had no idea. I learn something new every day with you. I'm just telling you, I really appreciate that.
He was a disc jockey at KMPC in Los Angeles.
If anybody ever asks me about that, I'll have that information, and I'll be able to use it.
He worked at the same station with the great Dick Enberg and Don Drysdale doing Angels games That pass is incomplete, intended for Marshall Lang. How many guys could say they've got the same name as
Not me.
Wink Martindale?
Not me.
Yeah.
And you know what else, Tim? You did what we call in the business a tease. You're just teaching me stuff left and right. You teased it, a play went by, and then you came with the information. Outstanding job by you.
Yeah, and I still have to explain those sunglasses to Terry when I get home. I'm blaming
The turnover buffs. You got to tell the turnover buffs.
The turnover buffs. And I'm going to be an awful announcing for the rest of my life, apparently. Morris with the fair catch at the 37-yard line.
Kid is special. His record as a high school athlete is pristine. Two state championships. I mean,
yeah.
And I know for a fact how hard he's worked right throughout his.
I believe I've seen some documentaries about some of those guys.
Yeah.
8-yard gain there. Jordan Marshall with that last tote remains in the backfield on second down and a long 2. Let's pound the rock from this point forward for Michigan. Keep that momentum going and keep your #1 guys as healthy as possible going into next week. Well, as you and I talk about this game in this moment, understanding what's going on in the world around us, Colorado is in peril.
Yeah.
Ole Miss has already gone down to Florida. We're talking about teams that we're hoping to be, in the college football playoff, still alive. There's a lot more out there, too. Upsets aplenty, and we're only halfway through the day here in late November.
And everyone sitting in this stance is hoping for one of those upsets next week as we see the true freshman get his opportunity.
Marshall gets 5 yards there. Oh, feel free. You can just roll right through it. No problem. We're good to go. To the 49-yard line. Just like that guy.
What is he doing here?
Yeah, steal a few nachos.
What is he doing here?
Yeah,
and he's stealing nachos.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like an Ohio State fan, man. My goodness. Get out of there.
Like an analyst from Michigan that starts doing play-by-play right in front of me. Look out. Boy, that's a big-time tackle because if it's not made, Jordan Marshall just keeps on chugging. He gets 6 on that one.
Yeah, they're really happy about the future of the running back room. And they brought in Tony Alford, running back coach. He was at Ohio State, and he's a guy that's developed a ton of talented running backs. So they really love what they have in their room, and they look to add to it along with Bryce Underwood in the future.
Out pattern is incomplete, intended for Kendrick Bell. When we talk about these recruiting classes and what's going on in college football today, and some credit needs to be shared with Sean McGee, the current general manager of this Michigan program, and getting that flip of Bryce Underwood taken care of in concert with Sharon Moore. Just about every program in college football today has a general manager, and player personnel is their concern. Tyler Morris down to the 15 and a first down. Damon Walters makes the stop.
All day, Davis Warren has done a really nice job with his eyes, right? Starting one side, whether it be left or right, and then getting to the middle. And most of the time, the middle guy is open, so he doesn't have to continue to progress. Morris is open over the ball again, and it's a nice pickup.
They're 11 of 14 on third down today.
Yeah.
11 of 14.
As long as they've stayed on schedule, they've been able to pick up those third down opportunities.
They came in today 39% on third down. And look at that red zone number.
5 for 5.
Woo. Marshall. Not much room this time. To Northwestern's defense as Hanji Story makes that stop. Najee Story with that stop. They've been on the field a long time. And the fatigue began to show really midway through the third quarter.
I mean, to be completely honest, this looks like the Michigan that all the fans thought they would see this season.
Absolutely.
Right, the ability to impose your will like they have in the past in the run game and have a efficient quarterback that makes the right throw and the right read when he needs to.
And I know it's almost forgotten as you watch this sweep to Apani, and he'll be wrestled down at about the 12. It's hard to believe, but it's true. Their preseason ranking was number 8.
Yeah.
They were 8th in the country.
So not
to
only
open
the
this
fans,
season.
everybody thought it.
Yeah, absolutely. There are swings and misses that we all make in preseason prognostications. Just see the Big 12.
No, not you.
Just see the Big 12 for details.
But Tim, you make them all right in the preseason, right? No mistakes for you, right?
I did pick Michigan to win it all at the beginning of the 23 season.
Oh, so you're just going to go back and...
I will take credit for that.
So you're going to ignore this year and just go back to it?
Oh, I still had Oregon #1 this time.
Okay. Where'd you have LSU on, Tim?
Yeah.
Where'd you have LSU?
Well, I had them with Underwood for next year, I can tell you that.
Well, that ship has sailed.
Yes, it has. O'Leary gets that one, and they're going to be a couple of yards away on 4th down.
You know, Tim, I don't care what anybody says. You're never wrong. Take that to the bank.
If I am, that's the one time I'm quiet. They are going to go for it here.
Yeah, I mean, they've had such success running the football. You imagine that they're going to use those 3 interior offensive linemen and try to pound this thing and get 1 yard.
You think 23 might get it? Follow 44 again?
Yes. I'm going to go with a maybe.
Okay.
And then I would probably change to probably.
Yeah. Marshall did get it, so we're half right. And he's down to the 5-yard line.
I mean, you imagine that they would go inside, right? They have had great push and great recreation of the line of scrimmage from those interior guys, and they go behind them again and pick up the first down. It's great movement, just washing everyone down. The free hitter is too late. He can't make the play, and a nice job of falling forward by Marshall.
Everybody in tight. Marshall dots the I. Trying to bounce it outside, and he's in a world of hurt. That one was botched, and he's tackled back at the 10 by Devin Turner and Najee Story.
Well, I think Northwestern got the memo, and Mac Uline specifically said, I know where this football is going, right behind 44. Watch Uline meet him in the hole and just dismantle this play before it gets started. A great pop right there. You don't see Bredesen's helmet go back very often. Nice job by Uline and the rest of the Cavalry codes to make the play on Marshall.
Been a tough day for Tim Margile's defense, but there's reason for optimism long-term for Northwestern, regardless of the outcome of today's game. Incomplete. Great pressure off the edge that time. Hurried that throw intended for Marlon Klein. And it'll be 3rd down and goal. The other thing that kind of points out to me about the Michigan story this season is you had a miracle working quarterback a year ago, and people just need to remind themselves
they don't understand
of
it.
He was a miracle worker. He was.
They had a lot of 3rd and long opportunities,
Sure did.
and you just don't usually convert those at the percentage that he was able to do it.
No doubt about it.
And you're missing that this season.
And his stats didn't always tell the entire story.
Yeah, he was a 1st-round pick for a reason.
Incomplete. Tyler Morris was the intended receiver. Again, some pressure, and that'll bring out the field goal unit. They're going to spot this at about the 17-yard line, so I'll call it an 18-yard line, so a 28-yard try. Zavada has been perfect today. Matched his career long with a 56-yarder in the first half. And the 40 spot has been hit. 9 Michigan drives today, 7 scores, 5 of them touchdowns. They've been dancing all day here in Michigan. And we may be dancing up here in the booth for a long, long time. And in my opinion, and I don't care who gets upset when I say it, the Hoosiers deserve to be, providing, of course, they win the Old Oaken Bucket next week, they deserve to be in the college football playoff.
And you know, Tim, I'm just glad I don't have to make that decision.
Here comes the return by Hyman, and again, he can't quite get beyond the 15-yard line. Let's go back to the old BCS era when this guy was running around the big house. Remember these days?
I do.
That was your first start, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was my first start in the big house, right?
Yeah.
First start at quarterback in the big house.
Well, you're running around saying, let's go, let's go.
Yeah.
And you went.
Oh, 2013, overtime. 3 overtimes, actually. Game winner. That's 2 game winners in a row, Tim. I'm just saying. Just saying.
Yeah.
Back-to-back years. Northwestern always played us tough, man. They were well coached, and they always did a really good job.
You were well on your way to being one day paired with Tim Brando in the booth.
That's right. That's right.
Maybe a little sooner than you anticipated.
Of course.
Omolafe, nothing doing. Stopped at the 14-yard line.
Yeah, Tim, of course. I really thought I was going to play 36 years in the NFL. That's what I thought it was going to be. And then eventually I would come and save your career, right? And just help you out as a broadcaster.
Yeah.
But I came earlier. You're still in your prime. It's devastating.
Yeah, as long as the makeup in Just for Men holds out.
I told you, you're still in your prime, man. You're looking good. Looking good. New quarterback, Ryan Helinski.
Yeah, Ryan Helinski finally getting a little playing time. And as you mentioned at the outset, we went down to the field before the game. He was spinning it pretty good.
Yeah, he was.
Incomplete. Hayden Elligon, the second, was the intended receiver.
Yeah, these defensive backs for Michigan, they played a lot of them this season and even today. They've done a really nice job of making it difficult on the Northwestern quarterbacking group to get the ball in there, right? They just have made it small windows, and it's tough to get those balls in there, especially you got cold weather, all these different elements. This defense has done a really nice job, and a lot of credit goes to Wink Martindale of Michigan, not the other one.
As we close the books on Lausch, remember he had no run game today, and that really hurt. Helinski has to dump this one off and get rid of it, and he was not outside the box. They're going to flag him, and I think he dumped it off in the end zone.
I think they'll pick it up because there's a running back in the area.
Yeah.
It's intentional grounding. Offense number 3. There was no receiver in the area.
That's a safety.
A foul occurred in the end zone. By rule, that's a safety.
That's what I thought.
Hey, Tim, I think that's a bad call. It's a screen and the running back was clearly in the area. I think they made a mistake there, but yeah, that's not true.
Let's take a look.
Yeah, the running back is he's throwing the ball in the dirt, right? But the running back is near where he's throwing the ball. Now, for him, you want to throw it a little further, but take a look. Here's the running back right here. He's in the middle. He's getting knocked down and pulled. I think that he's in position enough. That's a lineman that got tracked, but I think he's in position enough that wouldn't be intentional grounding, but they call it, and it's a penalty and a safety for Michigan's defense, and it just adds to what they've been able to do today. Yeah,
that's the explanation that he's giving to Zach Lujan, and I'm not disagreeing with you at all.
Yeah.
But right away, when I saw the flag come down in the end zone, I'm like, that's a safety.
Yeah, and the problem is, if you're going to throw the ball away because he was outside the pocket, it has to at least get to the line of scrimmage, right?
Yeah.
So he throws it almost right in front of him, and so it has to be a receiver in the area, which I believe it was, and they didn't think it was, so it's a penalty and a safety for Michigan.
Northwestern has minus 3 rushing yards today, okay? Now, we do figure sacks into rushing yards overall in the college game. I wish they'd get rid of that rule and go the pro route with those stats. But the last time Northwestern had negative rushing yards, it was against Michigan in 2014. It's been that long.
Did I play in that game? Yeah.
It was 14, so yeah.
I did,
yeah, that was your senior year. It was also my first year at Fox.
Oh, look at that.
So think about that. That's
And that's when Blank Slate started.
Yeah.
The ice cream cream. Yeah, look at that. 2014 was a good year, baby. It's a good year.
Jordan Marshall awaits the free kick. Looks like they're going to squib it. Nope, he's going to go deep with it, end over end. And Marshall will have a chance from his 18. Oh, boy, look at this. Look at this. How about the tackle by Luke Akers? He's 6'2", 197-pounder out of Nashville, Tennessee. Saved a touchdown.
I mean, it just looks like the offensive line all day, right? Except it's now on the kickoff return, and Marshall reads it and bursts through the middle of the kickoff team. And like you said, what a job by Akers to get him to the ground. 63 yards on the return for Marshall.
Time to go deep into the depth chart. Jaden Davis has come in, number 2. And there he goes. Why not?
Tavir Dunlap.
Double deuce. Tavir Dunlap. And we got a marker down, so we're playing Hail to the Victors. We may need to hold on to that. Sideline flag, I think, may be the call here. Got a warning earlier, as I recall. And Sharon's upset down there. He's barking. Not happy with his sideline.
Result of the play is a touchdown. After the play was over, on sportsmanlike conduct, Michigan number 56. That's his first of the ball game. That 15-yard penalty being forced on the ensuing kickoff.
Dominic Jadis is hearing from his head coach right now.
Yeah, you just don't want that, right? You've played such a clean game. You've done such a nice job up front. And, you know, you get in the game late. And you do a nice job, but you want to go out with some class, right? And that's a nice run by Dunlap, man. I mean, sticks his foot in the ground, makes a guy miss in the hole, and shows the crowd, hey, I can run it too now.
Charlie Minzer is going to come in for the point after. We're getting deep into the depth chart, even in the kicking game. Sharon not happy with what happened at the end with the penalty flag. But it's a good time to be angry, right? When you're up and you've hung half 100 on the opposition before playing Ohio State. Drive home those coaching points. Sharon?
Yeah, penalties like that will not fly next week. Right?
No.
You got to make sure that you play clean football because it pains me to say this, but Ohio State is a juggernaut right now, and they're playing really good football. They did away with Indiana, and they have had this game circled from 4 years ago, honestly. I mean, just I don't think it's good. I don't think that anyone in that fan base is happy about the way that it's happened for Ohio State in the last game of the year right after Thanksgiving, and they're going to come guns a-blazing.
Right.
They're going to come with everything, and Michigan has to be prepared, and they have to play clean football.
And by the way, I thought going into today's game that we had on Big Noon, I really felt that it was Ryan Day that had more pressure than Kurt Cignetti. I really did. I agree. Cignetti, in my mind, was playing with house money.
Oh, 100%. I think you're exactly right. Nobody expected anything from Indiana, and they came out and they showed that they are a force to be reckoned with, not only for now, but for the future. And Ryan Day hasn't proven over and over consistently that he can win the big one. Well, that was a big one, and he won it. Now he gets his opportunity against Michigan in Columbus to try to win it again.
Well, Michigan's previous high for points coming into today's game was 30 points. And they've scored 50 twice last year versus Minnesota and Indiana. And they're at the 50 spot now as Hyman gets it out to the 35. Tomorrow, it's an NFL doubleheader on Fox. First, the Cowboys take on the Commanders, or other regional action. Then it's America's Game of the Week. Christian McCaffrey leads the 49ers against Jordan Love and the Packers, or the Cardinals Seahawks. Check for the games in your area, only on Fox. Just over 4 minutes left here. Now, a lot of important games left to be played collegiately tonight that have a tremendous bearing on the College Football Playoff Committee. Komalafe past the 40 to the 42. Had a nice chat with Ward Manuel. He's got Louisiana roots, by the way, as you know. Athletic director here at Michigan. And there is absolutely no doubt that he's been dealing with a roller coaster ride of emotions here at Michigan for the last handful of years. And especially this week, so much taking place off the field as well as on the field. And, of course, those duties that you have with the committee. There's the turnover story and the rushing yards.
Bottom left of your screen.
Yep.
0 rushing yards for Northwestern, 5 rushing touchdowns.
Unbelievable. Yep. A little wide receiver screen to Donnie Gray. And he's going to be a yard shy of the first down. 3rd down and 1 coming up. And listen, tough day for Coach Braun and his Wildcats, but I still believe that this program, Devin, is headed in the right direction. Don't you?
I do as well. And honestly, I think that Coach Braun was the guy for this job.
Oh,
I mean, it's a unique situation.
Yep.
Everybody knows it's well documented on what Northwestern went through, and he came in and he really started to change the culture immediately. He reached out to the people he needed to make sure he understands how to deal with this situation. And I'm still really impressed with the way he's changed it. And he still has an opportunity to become bowl eligible for the 2nd season. And I think he's happy, not with the product.
Open concourses, 4 premium clubs, more than 200,000 square feet of parks and plazas surrounding the stadium, set to open in 2026. Yeah, it's been difficult playing where they've had to play many of their home games this year.
Yeah.
But guys not only Skip Holtz, but guys like Chris Kleiman, the time spent at North Dakota State with Chris, all very helpful to Braun.
Ryan Day as well.
Absolutely.
He said he's always a phone call
against Wisconsin for them. And, oh, by the way, there's a few other teams that are going to have a say-so tonight in what's happening with the college football playoff. I submit for your approval, partner, Army against Notre Dame. That is think about that one for a second, okay? Yeah. Boise plays at Wyoming. They seem secure as long as they went out. And, of course, next week, the Friday after Thanksgiving, Black Friday, you and I will be back on the blue field. We got a marker down, so we're going to check on that. You and I will be back on the blue field on Friday, and we don't know exactly where we're going to be.
After the play was over, there was 2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, 1 against each team. Defense number 6, offense number 11. The penalty's offset. It is 2nd down.
We thank Mr. Cervinsky for clearing all of that up. But we don't know exactly where we're going to be on Saturday, but something tells me it will be at a Big Ten location.
I
have a premonition.
You know, Tim,
maybe another trophy
game. I said, Tim, you're never wrong. I don't care what the internet says. I don't care what anybody says. You're never wrong. And I think you might be right again.
Yeah. 2nd down and 7 from Olave. And while we're talking about other games of importance tonight, I'm going to give you an upset alert game, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Number 7, Alabama, is playing in Norman tonight. In Norman, where they are hungry for anything good to happen. Anything.
Yeah.
A&M plays Auburn, and a huge game for Iowa State to stay in position. By the way, Kansas whooping up on Colorado at last report. That aids who? Iowa State. It's 37-21 is that score. So Matt Campbell and company, if they can win out, they could be the beneficiaries.
Got a shot.
And move into the Big 12 championship game if they can win out. Quick little screen pass.
Yeah, this
out ahead for the first down is Drew Wagner, number 48.
And this is the type of team that Michigan fans thought they would see. And how about the showing with Bryce Underwood in attendance?
Yeah.
Right, just putting it on full display defensively, offensively, from the quarterback position. They've done a really nice job of showing that maybe he did make the right decision in flipping from LSU to go to Michigan. And like I said earlier, though, they have to find older guys as well to add with the young freshmen that they're going to garner from that flip. And Michigan has a real chance, and Sharon Moore should be proud of the way his team represented today. And it was fun to call it with you, partner.
Well, I was just happy to ride your coattails into the big house. What an afternoon. And not my first rodeo in the big house, but I'll say this.
Might have been your best.
Coming in with 98 makes it all the more enjoyable.
First class.
So, look at that. 50 points. We haven't seen that on the scoreboard in quite some time at Michigan. And in talking with Sharon yesterday, I had some empathy for his frustration that he wasn't able to concentrate on the coaching aspect, but that's living and learning of the world of head coaching that is now coming with the territory that he's in.
More of a CEO.
Yeah, and assembling talent and having trust in the people that he empowers as his coordinators. And they more than got it done today. You and I talk at great length before these games. I felt like Northwestern could win this game. I really did. Yeah. But Michigan had other ideas and too much at stake for them.
Yeah.
The pride and the tradition that comes from that history. We say often that history is the currency of the college game. Today, Michigan played like that kind of team that